turn on the switch. That's a pretty important aspect of this.
I got to decide when to tell my dime story.
Your dime story?
From PAX?
Your dime story from PAX. I remember there was something about a dime, and I can't. I mean, obviously, I'll wait until you tell the story. I'm sure it'll, like 4 seconds in, it'll be like, oh, this, right, yeah.
There was a text exchange that I think you read the story, and I'm not sure I
maybe
told it in person, but
I think I overheard it or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I have a good one. Pretty good.
The
story.
delay is like hilarious because I'm doing this in like a separate window, just to like get the Switch stuff into place. And it's like legit like a 6-second delay between like, because there's already a little delay when you go to XSplit anyway, just in general, but also now there's the added 2.4 seconds on top of all that.
The 2.4 seconds of Le Mans.
Oh, it's great.
It's a very strange dream, Kirby.
Yeah. OBS's bitrate.
Oh, no.
2 megabits. Oh, dear.
That's like 2 megabits is the default for like safe 720/30, I think.
Yeah, that's like
720/60 is more like 3 and something, and then 6 for 1080/60.
Woof. Yeah, I think like even when we were at our lowest like streaming capacity, I think we were at like 3 or something like that. And that was rough. We had really difficult streams going there, but
well, also for a while there was an encoding problem.
Yeah,
that was the thing. But
yeah, we are here. We've got stuff set up. We're gonna be playing some Mario 64. We'll probably rattle into like the plan as we get stuff started too.
Yeah. Well, are you satisfied with technical considerations for the moment? Do you
I think so.
Run through all the like Hangout stuff.
Oh boy, yeah. Let me pull up my thing.
I figured, if your list is good, you can sit down and we can do a 20-something minute rapid fire.
Yeah. Oh, I was just gonna like super rapid fire because most of these so April I'm gonna be having kind of a not like a month off, but it'll be like a light month. I'm trying to take a little bit more time for myself and recuperate from a very busy winter and just life stuff in general.
Oh, yeah.
So any series in motion are like subject to a little bit of lightness over the next handful of weeks. At the very least until I get back from vacation at the end of April, at which point I think things are going to be kind of kicked back into gear, especially with Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom comes out like 2 weeks into May.
New video games.
And we're going to be
fucking coming out.
Spending probably like straight up 15 goddamn months on that game because I'm sure it is absolutely gigantic. And Breath of the Wild, we actively had to do like 25-minute episodes just to be able to get through it. And that still had 140 some odd episodes before we beat the base game.
Yeah. There might have to be some railroading and editing, so it's not a literal. I mean, if there's like completion or stuff.
We're not doing 100%y stuff with that. Like right now, Breath of the Wild, I'm doing 100%y stuff because we specifically like did not do that the first time
to finish it before the new one.
Yeah, the general vibe we're gonna go with is gonna be similar for Tears of the Kingdom, where it's like we're just gonna kind of go at our own pace.
Mm-hmm.
We will find stuff to do. Obviously, the game is going to kind of guide us in the general direction of like what is going to be, the next thing to like definitely accomplish. But like, we see stuff that's interesting, we're going to go check it out. It's an open world game.
I honestly hope that they don't make it bigger and longer than the other one.
Oh, I guarantee it will be.
I know.
For 100% certainty,
I
it's going to be bigger
wish it would
longer.
be better and smaller in some ways.
I wish it was denser.
Yeah.
Not necessarily large. I mean, it's going to be larger. It's got a literal vertical dimension added to the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I wish there was, in some like not so much because like Korok seeds are obviously kind of a patter in the whole thing, but like I wish that there was more stuff going on to engage with. Like first time in Twilight Princess when you go into Hyrule Castle Town. You see a literal town full of people, and like not a lot of them have stuff going on, but it felt lived in and busy in a way that Ocarina of Time's Hyrule Castle Town did not at all. It was like, here's 6 or 7 people, here's a crowd that you can't engage with.
And here's your 3 doors for the whole city.
Exactly. Twilight Princess had like dozens of people milling about, which was really good.
I love vignettes in games, like giving me a reason to wander around. I might find a tingle in the forest or something, randomly running around or doing something weird. Like, that's more fun to me than like, ooh, look, another 7 hours of content.
Well, especially so Breath of the Wild does have like it's got a clock that it runs through, and it's faster than real time, obviously, but And there are characters that have schedules. They do stuff at certain times of the day, which is cool. I wish that they would blend that with a little bit of Majora's Mask's magic and be like, give everyone like a 7-day schedule. Like legit, have the day of the week matter. Have like stuff that, not necessarily box you out from much based on the day, but like, give them actual weekdays. Why not weekdays and weekends? And like on Saturdays, the town's a little bit more relaxed and chill, and people are hanging out in the town square, and there's a bard playing music, or like something along those lines, just for like make it feel a little bit more lived in, a little busier, have more stuff you can do.
Oh, are we doing this now, Goj?
If she gets it out of her system now, she won't be as desperate for it later.
Yeah. Goji always goes in like waves with me, where occasionally she's all over me, and then occasionally she like wants literally nothing to do with me. And last night she was very cuddly.
Oh yeah, she claims the bed early and doesn't let it go. It takes a lot to get her to not be all up in that bed.
Yep. Now I just have to play the game of pet her enough so I don't get bitten.
Yeah, that's the fun part. That's part of the reason I don't tend to play with the lap, situation that much, unless she's like, I'm going to sit in your lap and curl up and fall asleep.
Yeah,
I was like, okay, that's fine.
She did it last night, and I pet her for a while, and then at some point she just decided to bite me. But she did it in a kind way, because cats can fucking take a chunk out of you, or they can bite you to like bite a little hard, or they can just put their teeth on you. And it was much closer to the just putting her teeth on me, where I was like, hey, 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 and she kind of, buggered off a little bit.
Yeah, it's
good behavior today, Goji. It's the stream, please.
Yeah, right. It's always tricky with her because you can never tell if she's like trying to play or if she's actually pissed off, because she doesn't really indicate clearly the difference between the two.
Yeah, and she throws hisses in even when she's being like silly buggers. But anyway, please be nice, Goji. Chat would appreciate it, and so would Jeffrey.
Oh my god. And yeah, as Radar's pointing out, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/dpadfm. I had to check myself, because when we first started streaming, I would definitely incorrectly say twitch.com and had to keep correcting myself to twitch.tv.
Yeah.
And like Patreon, now I have the same issue. I go in reverse. I'm like, oh, patreon.com. It's com.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a poll up right now. I am probably, there are 4 games that are super tight and ahead of the pack in terms of voting on what I'm going to do next once Breath of the Wild is over, but then once Pokemon Violet is over. And I'm debating bringing that to Twitter for a poll as the last. We're not going to have polls for very long
doesn't
there.
Have polls.
Fuck me. God damn it. I try not to bring that stuff into here, but like Jesus Christ.
It just have to have like a straight week where you tweet every hour on the hour.
Oh,
just join our Discord. Just join our Discord.
Please come to Discord.
Please do the Discord.
It's like I'll grab a bot that just.
Every time Twitter takes a feature away or breaks something, Discord has a new update where they're like, you can.
By the way,
there's a microwave in Discord now.
Yeah.
You can fucking use it.
Oh man. Yeah. The polls thing was like, in some ways, and it sounds silly, that was like the last straw for me in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where it's like, there is absolutely no reason to fuck with that.
Of all the things that we use, that's one that is like so basic.
It's so basic. And once you, and like, it's basic in a way where you expect it from a website. It's hard to implement on your own. Like, I had struggles making a poll work on our own website. Like, I've got one that works okay at this point. But like, once you have it set up, you don't fuck with that. It's just, it's there. Yeah. Leave it. Use it. But regardless,
we need Discord Super Nitro for the microwave to work, though. Nobody, so be careful.
Yeah. But yeah, so I don't know. Well, I'm debating bringing that poll to Twitter while we still have the option. I believe the 4 games off the top of my head are Persona 4, Okami HD, Bug Fables, and the Ace Attorney as a series for streams. I've played like the first half of the Ace Attorney games, and then I kind of fell off around the time I think Miles Edgeworth Investigations or whatever first came out. I think I played that one, and I never played anything beyond it. Like, I know there's a second one. There's the crossover with Professor Layton. There's the Great Ace Attorney, which is more of a like Sherlock Holmesy, 19th century style thing. But yeah, interesting stuff there. So yeah, think about that. Head to patreon.com/gpadfm if you want to fuck up my ability to make this a 4-game thing, since Twitter limits your poll options to 4. which is annoying. I wish that was more, but whatever. But yeah, so that's that. Tears of the Kingdom comes out, I think, May 12th. We'll be playing it. I mean, the goal is to have stuff up that Monday. Get it cracking. The hard part is going to be finishing Breath of the Wild in time. I'm replacing all of my... I wasn't originally planning to replace all my streams.
You're going to have to.
I'm going to have to. I saw the pace that I did for the first one, and then on Thursday I was like, you know what? I'm not feeling Kirby Air Ride tonight, but I could definitely get down some Breath of the Wild just as like a slightly like lower key busy work kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then I got through that, and I felt like the pace was mostly better. I got hung up on one puzzle that was kind of annoying, but
happens.
Otherwise, like, the pace was pretty good, and I'm still just like, fuck, I'm gonna have to really hustle to get through what's left of this in the next like, and it's gonna be like 10 streams at minimum between now and then. I'm still not sure it's gonna happen, so, yoish. But yeah, anywho, that's where Zelda's at. Zelda's coming back.
Yes.
We don't have any real plans for after Tears of the Kingdom. I think at this point the Legendary Let's Play is fully in, the Master Sword sleeps again forever mode where we'll come back for a new game. Otherwise, it sits. We've literally played every Zelda game there is.
Which is great.
Yeah, the only things that we have not done with Zelda are, I think, the Temple of the Four Sword in or whatever it's called in the Game Boy Advance version of A Link to the Past. It's like such a nitty little. So the Game Boy Advance version of A Link to the Past also combined it with the original Four Sword. Like that's how Four Sword was first released, as a pack-in with the Game Boy Advance port of A Link to the Past.
Yeah, we're done.
Yep,
we're done. We're good.
So what happens is once you've played and I think beaten Four Sword, and you have to do that with multiplayer through that. Once you've beaten that, it will register that in A Link to the Past and opens a bonus dungeon in the Dark Pyramid. It's very short, if memory serves,
just
but
a bonus dungeon.
Yeah, it's just a little bonus thing. You fight Shadow Links at the end. It's difficult, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
The other one being Tetris Trackers, which is a mini game that is only available in a Japanese version of, I want to say, Four Swords Adventures. So I think we're going to leave that too. It's also not a full game. Neither is the Temple of the Four Swords. So
both of those.
Yeah.
No thanks. Crabby.
But anywho. We've played all the Zelda games. There's nothing left to cover at this point. There's like master modes in a handful of games, but like that's about it. Mega Man's been like kind of like on the back burner for a little while. We have a shitload of Star Force ready to go.
Yes.
And we've got
not Star Force
yes,
lovers.
there is stuff there, and boy oh boy oh boy.
We have a
if you're not familiar with Star Force 3, we recorded, I think we've got 10 episodes of that in the can, and like somewhere between episode 2 and 4, it fell so hard off the rails due to stuff that's just in the game.
Yeah.
Like, it's not us doing like a Mr. Benadryl and his peanut butter mustache situation. Like, this was stuff in the game that we're reacting to.
Yeah. You're gonna want to take a saw to your chair and cut off about 80% of it because you're only gonna need the edge of your seat. And attach 2 seat belts to your computer chair at home.
Put a if you can manage, bring that over to the bathroom as well, because you are going to piss and shit yourself with how fucking insane.
Replace most of your seat with a bucket.
Yeah. But only use the edge of the bucket.
Yes.
You're only going to need the edge of the bucket.
Only 20% of the bucket is needed.
That's going to be wild. We do have some weekday Mega Man also in the can. There's one thing that is still being prepped that is, like, it doesn't have to hold it back, but it's also, we don't have a ton of weekday stuff, so it's not like it's holding back, like, a month's worth of weekday Mega Man either. So that'll probably be starting up next weekend, going into the week after that.
Yeah, Mega Man's in that strange middle ground where it's kind of Star Force, and then
we're like in a funky zone in terms of like, we're also like, it feels weird. We're aside from Project Cross Zone 1 and 2,
are we almost up to 11?
Mega Man 11. Not really. It's weird. The pace is going to get strange. There's a lot of short and long, and not a lot of in between.
Yeah.
So like that's kind of where we're at with those. So I don't know. That'll be its own whole thing. I don't know. But it is coming back soon, including more 8-bit deathmatch, because everybody is super pumped about more of that. I actually do kind of enjoy that game. It's a little headache-inducing at times, but it's fine.
It's a Doom multiplayer match.
Yeah, if you're a big Doom person, that game is like awesome for sure. For Sonic, we stepped away from Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games after beating the circuit modes to check out the Sonic Frontiers DLC. The sight, sound, and speed, I figured out what the last S word was. That was embarrassing when I looked at it. I was like, oh, it's like the one S word you would obviously come to when
sight,
talking about Sonic.
And Sonic.
Oh, did 8-Bit Deathmatch get its Mega Man 11 chapter added?
Final update or whatever they said.
Dang. All right, that'll be fresh when we get to it, too. That's cool. But yeah, we are we're checking out the Sonic Frontiers DLC. I finished the cyberspace missions. We still have essentially the boss rush mode, which I assume is going to be the same. Each of the 4 islands plus a last one. That's everything put together. And there's also the actual like jukebox mode in the islands, and we'll probably do that along with getting like full S rank, getting the full keys out of all the stages, just as a thing towards completion there.
I forgot.
Oh, balance and bug fix update. Okay, that's fine.
I've wanted to say it a number of times because I've seen comments on this. Because this is going back to Mega Man Star Force.
Oh yeah,
I've seen a lot of like comments and predictees and suppositiones on various like platforms. And it's so funny because like every guess is right in some way or another. People are like, I wonder if this is going to happen to them. And I've been thinking
pretty
about
much
like, oh Jesus,
yeah. Oh yeah.
I wonder if they're going to do this and then not realize it. Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're going. I wonder if they're going to make another terrible voice choice on somebody. And then
I've been trying
like,
to be more pragmatic with most of them. There was like one that I think it's literally in the last episode or two we've done where I'm like, I get the strong feeling this guy's going to come back. I'm going to give him a dumb voice just to, like, why not? Let's, like, lean in on the last one.
Towards the end of what we recorded, we suddenly had an episode where there were, like, 8 new people, and we were just kept being like, this one sounds like me.
It's tough, because on the one hand, like, it's cool that they're making every character scene kind of unique and individual, but on the other hand, it makes it way harder to tell who's going to be around and who's not.
Yeah.
So we swung for the fences, for sure.
I just had to say that because I saw a lot of comments on that. Oh yes, we are indeed looking into the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog.
That was. We kept our eyes on it. I saw.
We talked about it yesterday in a conversation about how we hate the day before April Fool's jokes. Fool's jokes, but the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog gets a pass and a thumbs up because
it was simultaneously like a funny joke in its own right.
Yeah.
Like, even if the game didn't exist, that would still be a funny-ass joke.
Yeah. Well, no, if it didn't exist, it would have to have come out on April 1st, the announcement.
Oh, yes, yeah,
But because it came out on the 31st and was very specifically like, haha, this is not an April Fool's joke. Even
it's like,
it
whoa,
like it,
all right.
Then we're like, all right, great.
Yeah,
Fun.
That's a funny. I love too that like the description on Steam is also super memey and stuff too, where it's just like, and don't forget, guys, everything that happens here is canon. Asterisk, and on the other side it said this game wasn't made by Sonic Team, but headcanon still counts.
Sega and Sonic Team would absolutely not support this statement.
Yeah, well, that was published by Sega. Like they, but Sonic Team themselves did not, in fact, work on this. Right. So I'm sure that there was something that was worked out there. And
are we good on bitrate and output and everything?
Yeah, we had a quick set of 5-second drops earlier, like half an hour ago, as we were getting this started. But it should be all set at this point.
Yeah. So on our end, I think we're all good. By the way.
Yeah, I would say give it a quick refresh if it's giving you buffering issues, and that should resolve. Uncertain for sure, but hopefully that'll fix that up.
All right, next category.
Resident Evil. We're playing Resident Evil 4 for the Xbox Series Infinity.
Remake looks pretty fucking good.
It looks sharp as shit.
They certainly don't skimp on a graphical upgrade.
That first cinematic of the like ritual sacrifice.
Yeah, the dead person on the table.
The smoothest, cleanest 4K video I think I've ever seen in a fucking video game. Yeah. And of course, with it being so sharp, it was immediately obvious that the lip flaps didn't match the dialogue even a little bit. And I was like, guys, no, you literally, the only thing I can see.
Stop it. We see it every time, Japan.
Right? It's like all I can see is this guy's mouth taking up fucking 30 megapixels of space. Please do that. Please fix that. I have seen Mauschly. Mauschly is great. Mauschly/Ratchley.
I saw it as a mouse specifically. Yeah. I don't know if it's there.
I just feel like Ratchley is like a little bit cleaner of a pun, but she is a mouse, a little white mouse. Including one where it looks like she's done the like Tom and Jerry thing of eating a whole wedge of cheese.
Yeah,
and so she's just a triangular mouse with the blonde hair and the skirt and the jacket. Donde está? Or sorry, when they're looking for you, it's donde estás?
Where are you?
I know just enough Spanish to actually like be able to be like, oh, hey, I know what grammatically they're doing if they're depending on how they end that. Cool.
Estás, the U form.
Yes. To be tú estás. You are. Donde estás? I think the funkiest thing for me when it comes to Spanish, because I've been doing it with Duolingo for about a year now, is Spanish seems to be extremely flexible on word order, especially around verbs. Verbs and adverbs and like special forms, it seems to be cool with just usted is fucking all over the place.
Yeah.
All on its own. Siempre and stuff like that is just kind of like thrown arbitrarily into. Granted, English is kind of like that too, right? Where it's like you always go to the store, or you. Oh, that's a terrible example.
Well, I mean, like if you use siempre está versus está siempre, they do have different meanings. Like thoughtfully, like it always versus it always is.
All right,
it's hard to explain in English, but like there are like different meanings for different orders of words. Like that sentence in English, like that's like the red ball was behind, above. It basically goes through the order of where like adjectives and adverbs are placed.
Yeah. We have English has an ordering like it's
like we know
there's like 8 categories, and they
know
all
to say like the
big red, pretty round
ball,
heavy ball or
those,
something.
For some reason, those are just internalized in.
Yeah, if you say, "Oh, the heavy, pretty red, big round ball," it's like something is off there. I don't know what. It's very interesting that like. It's weird because, like, that's a hard thing to teach. That's a fucking borderline impossible thing to teach, but, like, you kind of intuit it after enough time of just speaking English.
As far as I understand in Spanish, it's whatever the final or first adjective after the noun is, like, it's the most important one.
Interesting.
Color, I think, is often there. I don't know.
It gets tricky
with...
It's
been a long time since I did...
Well, French gets tricky with that, too, because most of the time... God, it's been so long. Most adjectives come after the noun in French, but there's a handful of specific ones that come before. And there are specific individual adjectives and a few categorical adjectives, and it's like, why? Who fucking decided that? But I guess it's the same thing.
The French over 500 years or something.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, say un rouge vert for like, oh, it's a red glass or something, versus like, oh, it's a pretty glass or whatever, but I don't know. But regardless, Duolingo does weird. If you go into the Duolingo subreddit, basically every day there's someone asking a question. Well, there's 2 kinds of questions. One is, hey, how come this is wrong? And you can you scroll down and you're like, well, you used the wrong word.
Yes.
I don't know what you were looking for here. The other one that's kind of annoying, I get kind of why they do this. If you use the wrong gendered adjective for a noun, Duolingo will suggest the noun that matches the adjective, not the adjective that matches the noun. So if there's an alternative way of saying a thing that is the opposite gender, they will show you that instead.
That's strange.
Yeah. So it's like, so cartas versus mensaje. So like, so like
letters or a message.
Card versus message. Yeah, letter versus message. They have opposite genders. So if you say una mensaje, they won't correct you to un mensaje. They'll say una carta. And it's like, but that's not what I just said, though.
That is a different word.
That's a whole ass different word with like a different meaning.
Yeah.
Un and una mean the same thing. They're just gendered. Like, just fix that part. But anyway, way off topic. Resident Evil 4 going well.
Never heard of Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Just catching it with Chad quickly.
Oh yeah, I think I have heard of that one. I don't know a lot about it, but I think the idea is that it's similar to the old like Pokemon Fusion games, where I might also be mixing this up with a different fan game, but like where they would, it's like, oh, it's Lickitung and Arbok. It's a Lickabok.
Oh,
and like,
yes, yeah, and it just pixels or sprite fuses them.
Yeah, basically, yeah. There have been a few fan games that have tried to use that as an engine to generate them on the fly. I want to say Infinite Fusion is hard coded though.
To be completely honest, that's just Pokemon Digimon.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, yeah, Digimon already kind of runs into that a lot anyway.
Digimon, I don't fuse in most cases, have different like evolution tracks, but it's like Pokemon if you could like choose evolutions, which is
tricky and interesting because like it's from a mathematical standpoint, fusions, even just doing one set of fusions, Like you would go from
the complexity.
If you could fuse every Pokemon with every other Pokemon that exists right now, if you took out like, oh, I'm going to fuse Arbok with Arbok, like taking out those, you would now currently have more than 1 million combinations.
A mathematical permutation versus a mathematical combination. Combination even without like...
I guess 500,000 because...
Yeah, because
Arbok and Chansey is the same as Chansey and Arbok.
And it's also this... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And Arbok is the same as Arbok. So that's the...
Yeah, well, if you can take those out altogether, yeah. So... I wonder if I can do this in my head real quick. 16, 128, 1024, 128, minus 1,008, 1,023.
It's like 150. Well, even if we're just talking about the original, it's 150 factorial. Like 150 times.
No, that would be if you could. That would be if you could fuse fusions with more Pokemon. I'm just talking fuse two of them together. That would just be you pick one out of 1008 and you fuse it with another one out of 1007 because you wouldn't want to select the same one. And then
that's why I'm saying like it matters if it's a permutation or a combination. And I honestly don't remember. One of them is just a straight factorial, and the other one is
it'd be factorial if you could if you had a ball and you could add traits of a Pikachu, traits of a Moltres, traits of a Weezing, traits of a Iron Treads, and just keep adding or removing, that would be a factorial because essentially all of them. Actually, no, that wouldn't even be. That would be 2 to the power of because it would just be like an off-on switch for each of those.
Yeah,
but they'd be comparable at that point.
I'm pretty sure we could figure it out with math on the internet, but we got to continue.
Oh, there's 1010 now. Oh, because I forgot that these weird bonus raids add Pokemon. They're not existing ones. They're getting added into the thing.
Oh.
I forgot about that aspect of it. So it's like, oh, all right, fair enough. So, yeah, but anyway, about 510,000 combinations are available between all of those. It would be completely impossible for someone to manually make all of these things exist. Even just doing like a sprite version of every Pokemon would be a massive undertaking anyway.
And from what Chad is saying, it seems like they've made quite an effort to do like customized sprites for all of them. And I'm sure that was like a big crowd effort being like, all right, I'll take these 100 fusions and you do that 100.
Yep. Honestly, if they wanted, I wouldn't be surprised if fan games would start doing, kind of split the series in half a little bit. Chop black and white forward or X and Y forward, just because that's so different, from those. But like, make fan games that only include Pokemon from a certain point forward for the sake of, and like, if there's pre-evolutions that are from earlier games, bring those too. But like, makes it a lot easier if you can divvy them up in a logical way without being like, well, we've got 700 more to do. So, anyway, Pokemon. Actually, that's a good segue to Pokemon. I think I might
also, can you bump up my volume just slightly? I think I'm slightly quieter than now.
I think that is that one. Yeah, we'll probably be tweaking volume as we go.
Yeah.
We'll do the best we can.
Insider info saying that at least between these two mics that I am a little bit quieter.
Yeah, I gotta remember to turn these down after we're done.
Yeah.
I also have mine jacked up a little bit extra just because it's easier on the when we do the live stream. So,
okay, so Pokemon,
Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl has been on pause for a while. John is working out scheduling things and is going to be coming in to record some. He was going to do it this past week and had a last second timing thing happen. Oh, that's right. He was helping Ian's wife's sister was moving, and he was conscripted to assist with that. So he had a last second pull out from there. But it is happening. It's been a delay. We're getting back into it. Pokemon Legends Arceus has been mostly moving it. We didn't have any this week, just between like PAX and this. There was just too much going on to make that happen. But that's been moving along. We are getting in the ballpark of halfway, I think. We're almost halfway into the game. Actually, we might be like right at the halfway mark at this point. But that's been going well. Starting to get my feet under me a little bit more in terms of like how to approach problems and catching and all of that stuff. The biggest thing is I have to remember to keep knocking at trees and getting apricorns because Pokeballs are a fucking very useful resource I need shitloads of.
I generally try to like stay up on most of the Pokemons, but Arceus It's so
There's-
out and different.
that's
that
the
at
thing.
this point, I'm like, I haven't caught up in the story. There's a lot for me to watch.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I just have no idea.
I think Arceus would be a good candidate for. I've been, there's no time for it right now, but down the line, I would love to do abridged versions of some of these games, like a re-edit of some of our series, to make them slightly more bite-sized. Some are good for comedy's sake. Some are good for just watching's sake. So, like, Arceus would be a good candidate just for pace, to be able to do edits and have it be a more digestible amount of information there.
Yep.
But yeah, that's a thing for later. We got way too much, and we're about to get another open world game dropped in our lap in a month. So
Yep.
no time for love, Dr. Jones.
Nope.
Also, shout out to, I'm gonna get his name wrong.
Quack.
It's
Rick Quack.
Quan. His last name is Quan.
Quan.
I cannot remember how to pronounce. Oh God, Kuhue? No, I'm gonna get it wrong. I'm sorry. He's a great actor. He was great when he was a kid. He is still fucking incredible now. Props for him for getting the Academy Award for his work in Everything Everywhere All at Once. A movie I still haven't fucking seen, but I've heard extremely good things about. So
His name is Daniel, but like, I mean, I think that's his taken name.
I think that was yeah.
No shit.
What? Yeah, he was Short Round, and he was in the Goonies too.
Daniel Kwan, director of Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, sorry, no, not the director.
So yeah, you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of the actor.
Okay, well, fun thing, Daniel Kwan, the director of Everything Everywhere All at Once, is from fucking Westboro, Massachusetts.
No shit.
Yeah.
Hey,
He's
local boy.
Taiwanese family moved to Westboro and lived
KY?
there forever.
Yeah,
Cool.
that was the thing. It was like I was pretty sure his last name was Quan with a QU, but it is funny that
Kwan, I think, yeah.
we've got the director and one of the actors, both Quan, spelled differently.
Yeah.
The director's name is spelled. Oh no, never mind. Too, I was gonna say it's like his name is spelled similar to Michelle Kwan, but I think she uses an O in her name. Kwon. I don't know for sure. The figure skater. This was years back. This was back during Michelle Kwan.
Michelle Kwan. Yeah, I don't know how exactly that was spelled.
This was back during the thing with the kneecapping and such.
Oh yes.
All the Tanya Harding and all that stuff.
Yep, Harding and Michelle Kwan.
Would be interesting. Oh, I guess that's true. Yeah, because like the first like syllable for China comes from like the Qin dynasty, right? With the QIN.
Well,
so that'd be a Qin.
Q is not pronounced in any specific way in Chinese because there is no Q. So like
right, yeah.
The QI.
Yeah, Nancy Kerrigan was the one who got attacked.
Versus like key versus like there's a bunch of things that are transliterated as Q's or C's.
Yeah,
but it's not even very regular. It's not regular. I watch a lot of kung fu and things in Mandarin.
Yeah,
and actually a lot in Cantonese as well. But
I think that's how we wound up with chi and ki both being, because they both are the same thing.
It's
we just kind of
CHI QUI and
KI sometimes as well.
Key, yep.
But they're all the same thing. We've just kind of repeatedly transliterated it out into these other things. There's
a little bit of a CH in there, but it's not chi. It's like chi.
Yeah, there's like kind of it's a little like a sprayed consonant. I don't fucking know.
Nah. I started learning Chinese on Duolingo and then got frustrated because it told me to learn Chinese, and I said, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I keep starting on Japanese, and I get a little bit into it, and then I was like, "Fuck!" I just need to buy myself like a literal Japanese kindergartner's like hiragana workbook.
Just get an N0 workbook.
Basically, and just sit there and fucking do it 1,000 times.
The national like Japanese certification that goes like N0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, and it's like
just smart way of doing it. It's a very intricate.
It's the
like,
Japanese
writing
standard
style.
way that if you read and write at an N2 level, then you can like work with a Japanese person and understand them.
Oh, the fascinating thing to me about the written like East Asian languages and scripts is that kanji is essentially just Mandarin Chinese, like I think Is it Mandarin or Cantonese? I forget which, but
I believe it's Mandarin.
Yeah,
but
it is straight up the same script.
Yeah,
like it's the same characters for most of that.
A million borrowed characters, but it was it was like the attempt of being like, let's maybe make writing a little simpler, even if we lose a little bit of the finesse to the words.
Makes it a little bit more comprehensible if we're spelling out words essentially, as opposed to here is the hieroglyph for in so many ways, or the ideoglyph. There's a word for like that style of you're essentially drawing a concept as a single character,
a representative character. Yeah, I don't remember.
Regardless,
anyway,
though,
let's
Korean is always very identifiable because they use a lot of circles in their script, a lot of circles and like ovoid shapes.
GeoGuessr hacks.
Crown Tundra will come around at some point. We're not really like rushing that. We may even like record some and not put it out right away, so we can try to get closer to having most of it beforehand, just so that we don't have like a big break in the middle. But because we now have a break between the DLCs, this is a good point to just be like, all right, whenever we're good, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
Dream Drop Distance HD, we have finished the main game. There's a ton of episodes that are still not up because we had a straight up 5 or 6 hour marathon session a couple weeks ago. We have beaten the game. We still have to get 3 more trophies, I think, in order to get the secret ending. And 2 of those trophies are going to be extremely fucking easy to get. And then we have an idea of which one we want to do after that. That'll be slightly less easy, but like more just time consuming than like difficult. Like we actually, and apparently we don't even have to beat the final boss again. So like this is like the cruise to the secret ending. So that'll be good.
It's just said.
Oh, I thought that was like the. Well, I got bad news.
No, it's just when it comes to Pokemon post game, in general, it's real tough for me to like really want to engage.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather start a new Nuzlocke or something than do a post game.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're flying back to Sword and Shield. I was talking about Dream Drop Distance.
Oh, I lost. Yeah,
no, that's fine. I just realized you said that. I was like, wait, hang on.
We're
back to Pokemon
chat
again.
And I heard you mention something, and I thought you had just mentioned about like you said Crown Tundra and that,
yes,
and
there was that, and then I jumped over to Dream Drop Distance, and I was like, wait, what are we talking
I'd love
about
to
now?
finish it.
No, that's fine. Yeah, Pokemon.
Same time, not
Pokemon.
excited.
We've got a lot of floating things. We literally, I have an array of Switch cartridges sitting in front of the TV because it's just convenient to have them there, and I think of the 7 games that are there, I think 4 of them are Pokemon games. Those are all the games that we're like actively switching between. One of them is Ring Fit Adventure, so that doesn't really count. But like one of them is Breath of the Wild, and I don't know what that. I think the last one is Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe.
I did. I'm looking at chat, checking on how we look on Twitch, and also responding to messages.
Yeah.
So my brain hit.
No, that's fine. And there's a delay too.
Coordination,
which doesn't help either.
This Goji, I actually just put a picture on Discord.
Look
that was another
thing
I was doing.
She's doing the squish neck thing and everything. I can see how much her neck is like fucking compressed.
She's very settled into my lap, which makes me. I'm like, eventually I'll have to stand up, but for now it's like I'm not going anywhere. But I put a picture in the lounge on our Discord of her face, and she is in fact like eyes closed, just kind of.
Oh, just vibing
in my direction. She's not staring at me.
Hashtag Goj vibing.
Yeah, which is great.
We didn't talk about Kirby already. Kirby's Return to Dreamland, we got started. It's not like a full-on real... It's a new game, but it's not a brand new... Like, it's the same as, like... I guess we don't have a good example of, like, a remake or port. I guess Resident Evil 4 in some ways, but that's so different from the original.
Yeah.
But... It's not like way at the front. It's not at the forefront of like we definitely have to blast through this, especially with Kirby being otherwise in the bag as a series. We are going to get back into it. Probably not this weekend for next week, but like we also want to make sure we have at least 3 people, preferably 4, to be able to be in for that. Just because the game is designed for more folks. Sort of. That game, I do like Return to Dreamland, but it is definitely poorly designed for 4. It is definitely Kirby and Friends.
Yes.
For that game. The minigames are fun, though. That was really good.
Yeah, I mean...
We got to Festival, which isn't a new copy ability. It's new to this game. But it's not a full-on new one.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying something. I saw that.
Oh, yeah, it's just kind of the same deal as Star Allies, is that, like, Kirby's a game for babies, and it's fun and lovely, and Oh, hot
Hey!
shit.
Thank you, Don Lush.
Pacifisto.
Oh.
No, it's
that's Pacifisto.
Pacifisto throwing down many a gift sub.
This is one of those things that'd be great if it showed it in the Twitch in-stream chat, but it doesn't load that in there. Thank you, Pacifisto.
No. In fact, today, although it's Saturday, we're going to officially say that today is also a sub day Sunday.
Yeah. It's going to be by the time we're done.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, my point about Star Allies is that, like, you know, Kirby's kind of an easy game. It's relaxing and casual. And then they add the 4-player element, and there's, like, not enough to do or challenge for 4 adult gamers.
Yep.
So there's moments where I'm like, well, Rick, you could just...
Oh, hey, cool. Here's an Ultra Sword. All right, I'm going to run at full speed and break stuff because nobody else has the ability to affect this right now.
Playing as DDD.
Thank you, Fido. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. The hype train has begun.
Has it? Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Like, you know,
hype it up.
Peter playing as DDD literally can't run fast enough to keep up with any of us.
Yeah.
And
which, like, I do my best because I usually play as Kirby for this, and I do my best to not just be like, all right, bye, guys.
Yeah.
If I'm currently carrying, like, a cannon or a water shield or one of the Ultra weapons or whatever, it's a different story because those are often timed, but... Oh, thank you, Golux.
Thank you all very, very much for your donations.
And thank you, Nano, as well.
We're about to beat our last hype train record.
Our last record.
No
how does that?
fucking
How do you
way.
have a last record? It's like you have a record or you don't, right?
Yeah.
I don't understand what a last record. How recently too?
Well,
like,
that's the thing. I'm sure that it's not tracking this forever because I think maybe in our 10th anniversary stream we had like a level 72.
We had like a shitload right at the end.
Yeah.
And we were throwing up party lights and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just trying to like figure out. They'd be like, "Oh man, the Patriots broke their last record for their standings this year." It's like, what does that? Since when? What does that mean?
Now,
all-time record shattered. Wait,
all-time
what?
record shattered, I guess.
I am suspect. Thank you.
Wow, holy fuck, everyone.
Oh, goddamn.
That's really
Kamen Rider
awesome.
Ghost, thank you so much.
Kamen Rider Ghost. I hope everybody's looking forward to their subs and using my idiot face on Twitch from now on.
Level 2 complete. Which is why it's like, yeah, we've been well past level 2, which has me be like, oh, all-time record? Are you sure, Twitch?
Since we started tracking records.
All-time record since today.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I mean,
Could I get some
I'm not, no complaints for sure.
Some Jeffs in the chat.
There we go. Get some.
See them Jeffs in
the chat. Get some OFs.
See a Jeffs
OFs in there. Hypey. Hype-P.
Excellent. Getting them Jeffs in the chat.
Oh my god, we're going to have this fucking melee sound the entire time. Which I need to update anyway. Like, I guess I'll keep it just because Kirby Air Ride borrows so much from Melee anyway. It's kind of appropriate. But the time Brawl comes around, that will certainly have been updated out entirely.
That was 10 gift subs, Kamen Rider Ghost.
Jesus. Thank you, Kamen Rider Ghost. Goddamn.
Everyone be appreciative for your sub and your emotes.
Holy shit.
That's really awesome.
Pacifisto,
thank you hugely. I saw Mad Scientist throw one in there.
I knew there was going to be something that I forgot in the lead up to this, and shout out to, I think it was Beans, for reminding me what it was, and we can verbally indicate this. Actually, I don't have the other one nearby. Can you throw me that notebook that is over? Oh, no, you can't. Hang on.
I was like, if it's within my reach, I can, but Goji's eyes are open again, and she's looking at me, so I can't move.
Yeah, this is the right one. Okay.
Just going to scratch yourself. Oh my god, a J Jeff, a G Jeff, and a new Jeff. I usually end up being G off, any DJ EPHS.
I thought they were saying that we had those as emotes now. Like, well, that's interesting and ironic.
No, yeah.
What does that even mean?
Just combinations of my face and things. No, I end up G off, and like, I'm the only GEOFF.
Yes, this is great.
Rick is indeed wearing what you think he is wearing. What's he doing, Goji?
I'm going to bring this closer to the camera.
The poster.
Let's see. We have this available as a poster and a bunch of other merch in the store. dpad.fm/store, I think. I'm going to get back on mic.
Yeah, I believe...
Hello, I'm back. dpad.fm/store or shop or merch. At least 2 of those work.
Thanks for the
we'll take you to our Teespring store where we have... I spent most of the fall putting together a giant collage of sorts of our first 10,000 Let's Play video thumbnails. And oh, you got us, Kamen Rider. That is the raddest April Fool's joke.
I was so flummoxed.
You fucking got us good. But yeah, I spent like the entire fall putting together a giant 100 by 100 thumbnail array, which I've titled Myriad Memories, as in celebration of 10,000 Let's Play videos. I ordered the poster I just showed you in the second week of January.
Yeah.
It arrived this Monday.
Them fuckers take their time.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to get a poster quickly, I would recommend going back in time and having ordered it 3 months ago.
If you would like it for the summer, order it now.
Yeah.
High
quality stuff, but man.
I mean, yeah, it's good quality.
Amazing.
Yeah, it sounded like it got held up for a bunch of stuff, but yeah, so that was the whole thing. But regardless, that is available. I think there's a few clothing options, though it is a big, complicated picture, so don't expect it to be crazy sharp on like a shirt.
Holy shit.
What happened?
Well, there's an anonymous gifter throwing
Oh,
down
goddamn.
an additional 10 subs.
Fuck yeah, anonymous gifter. Thank you so much.
Chat, you certainly know how to make me blush on a Saturday morning. Or afternoon, technically.
Just got to just stick a cat on that lap and the blushes begin. Look at that. Look at that face. You can only sort of see the face because there's text in front of it, but
Senpai.
You just got to like crunch down and do the thing. Literally, your mouth is at the exact horizontal point where all of the text is coming in. Oh my god. But also, so in addition to Myriad Memories, which does actually look pretty fucking good on a poster, also shout out / thank you to Peter the Carnium for before we had our PAX East thing, he went and got one of these printed because this was taking so long.
Yes, yeah, he just had it made personally and was like, yeah, it took me 10 minutes.
I also messaged him after the day after the show because I went online to check for the 20th time, hey, is this thing fucking coming? And it updated for the first time in over a month to say, oh yeah, it's coming Monday. I'm like, great.
Well, cool.
Thanks.
Well, once again,
but regardless, that's
thank you so much, Chad.
Yeah,
for all those,
thank you, Chad. Holy cow.
Subs. I hope everybody enjoys the emotes still.
In addition to, if you go to dpad.fm/merch, you can find Myriad Memories, as well as there are now shirts and associated merch up for a bunch of U-Game related gear. I believe there's stuff for U-Game in general. There's stuff for Question Kingdom and Hey Listen, Cartographic.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Gather Round. I quietly put them up late, like midweek this week.
That's exciting.
And figured I would announce that for this. And I'm trying to remember because there's 7 that are up, and I'm trying to remember what the 7th one is because there's U-Game. Oh no, because there's 5 categories because the 4 categories in Boss Rush. So that's our 7.
Yes,
I was gonna put one more up, and I don't remember what that. I think I was gonna put the logo for the D12 thing up as well. It's not up there right now, but if you head to dpad.fm/merch, you can check that stuff out and see if there's something you like. There's also a shitload of other stuff that's up there. I do wish Teespring would improve the quality of their customizability of your shelves, but otherwise, it is what it is. But yeah, give that shit a look.
So, do we have any other update?
I think that's basically.
Okay.
I think that's the important stuff is all out of the way at this point.
The only thing that we should do, I wanted to talk about U-Game a little bit.
Yeah, we got a little time for that. Yeah,
people. But are you good to sit down before we begin, or are you staying there until?
I think
game.
I'll probably just hang out up here just because I have to switch the scenes too.
That's true.
Which is its own thing. But
I'll enjoy continuing to look at me, everyone.
I'll get the potential bad news out of the way at the top of this.
Okay.
Before we get too into it, question mark as to whether or not the panel was in fact audio recorded after all.
Oh.
We were told ahead of time via many emails that if we were not live streamed, it would be audio recorded, but it sounds like that may not have been the case.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't on the PAX stream, but it does not seem like
Condor Theater
was.
Condor Theater does not get streamed. But also it may not have gotten audio recorded, which is a big bummer. I hope, and I've reached out to my PAX contact, my ReadPop contact, I guess, who can hopefully point me in the right direction if that's the case. We didn't have the camera on, partly because we were literally setting stuff up till the last possible moment, and also partly because I was like, you know what, we got the audio recording. we don't need the camera. The camera was fluff.
Yeah.
And if I had known, I probably would have set the camera up and then finished the other stuff. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
But honestly, too, like it's a test run in many ways. So it was a good test balloon. We have a better idea what works and doesn't.
For anyone who like doesn't know what was going on or didn't see our like announcement video or Twitter stuff. The D-pad was at PAX East 2023.
We were.
We were special guests for Thursday night at 9 p.m. We did a game show, basically.
Yes, a video game show.
Yep, we ran.
I did not drop my snarky pop quiz hotshot barb into the opening dialogue for that, like I was debating doing.
I had
almost
couple of ideas of bits as well that we didn't get to execute.
We discovered very early in the show that we were not going to really have an opportunity to vamp basically at all.
Yeah. So the basically the story from PAX is that it all came together. It was like a rush, and we didn't know it was our first time doing that kind of a thing. We wanted to do a good job, and it ended up
Hype Train success.
Hooray! Everybody also now enjoy your additional emotes.
Yes, whatever they may be.
Yep. Lucky.
I'm very confused how that works.
Hope you get non-dumb ones. What even is that?
It's some kind of small animal. It looks like almost like a chinchilla.
Oh, maybe with a battle axe.
Maybe it's hard to tell.
Okay. Well, anyway.
Regardless.
Yeah. So the show went really well.
Yes. People came up. We have pins, and we have like less than half what we started with because basically the entire damn audience came up and were grabbing pins at the end. And we're
Thursday
pumped.
night for a first time panel is kind of pretty standard. We didn't get a prime time day, but we still had 40 or maybe 40 people in the audience, and
we did better than the Condor is a huge theater.
They gave us the biggest
literally
theater
the biggest
they could have, and we were
shy of
expecting
main
a small
stage,
one.
which was also actively featuring Bit Brigade performing live
at
like above us
moment,
at the exact same time. We're like, all right, if we have an audience of like 20, that'll be a victory with both the slot and the counter programming. Let's just do it. And we got like 40, 50 people. People had a really good time.
They did.
Nothing is worse than going into a giant room like that and being like, I hope we have more than like 5.
Yeah.
Because this room will feel totally empty.
I brought 5 people from outside just in case. But
no, we had a bunch of people show up. People had a good time.
Yeah. Our goal of doing questions and like trivia games specifically that were like not
Kamala,
easy,
hey,
but made people go like, I'm so mad.
Yeah,
that I didn't
you could
get
see,
that,
you could definitely see either like the two most common reactions were after the answer was given that like or when a question gets asked, you watch some people like laughing in the audience because they're like, fuck, I know this one.
Or sometimes you'd see a group of 3 people. That was my favorite, when a group of 3 people all come
Where
up
they're
with
like,
an answer and one gets it right, and they're like, I fucking told you it was Metal Gear Solid. So yeah, it went well.
I knew it was Civ 5. God damn it!
We have all of the materials from the show and hope to maybe someday.
Now it's just a matter of
do it remote or set up our own little stage and stuff, because the shirts Rick put on are all the iconography,
like the
and
logos
graphics.
from each of the categories.
Yeah,
we had Question Kingdom, which was trivia. Hey Listen, which was sound identification.
Yep.
We had Cartographic, which was map identification. Map/HUD/mini-map. It was kind of like that style of like most map-centric, stuff. Either a world map or a mini-map.
I think, yeah.
And then there was Gather Round, which is essentially similar to the trivia one, but you're answering like as many items in a category as you can.
Yeah.
And then there was a boss rush at the end, which is essentially just really hard versions of each of those things all kind of stacked together.
Yeah. The concept was like novel and new enough that people were like, I've never seen that before. So
I was really worried about, because in the couple weeks of a lead up, I was like, I should see what other game shows have done, just to see I don't want to copy anybody. I don't want to, and I also want to avoid anything that did not go over well. And then I looked and I searched PAX East game show, and the singular only result that I got was Throne Controllers, which had been doing it for 9 years at PAX East. I'm like, oh no,
they're the game show.
Are we going to get totally flattened by this other very successful and popular PAX East YouTuber run game show?
Yep.
They weren't at PAX East this year, which probably worked in our favor, really. But that was one thing where I was just like, oh no.
Yep. And shout outs to a couple of people in chat specifically. Kamala was there helping with
Scorekeeper.
Scoring. Nanocarp and Mad Scientist both did beta testing of the questions because we couldn't test them with any of the contestants, obviously. Yeah, I'm not sure if anybody
Evil
else
Hippie, both a beta tester and our what would be the like technical term for like what he did?
Stage manager.
I guess stage manager. Yeah, he was running the. We had a Streamlabs like scene presentation set up with all the scene things, and he was running all of that, and he was also stage managing us in the live thing, essentially. Like you got to cut the next 4 questions. You're gonna have to. We're just have to jump right at time. Like, all right,
that's
fine.
why we got him, because he didn't do that for 15 years of his life.
Yeah, for nothing.
In high school and college and after college and 6 months ago.
Continuing, yeah. No, it went pretty solidly.
Oh my gosh, it's a CJ in the chat.
Do we have a CJ in the chat? We do have CJ in the chat. Siege, you're not a ghost. You're alive. Don't lie to me.
CJ's in the chat.
Don't you lie to me. OMG, that table. This table. Yeah, all the junk is either underneath or in another room.
Yeah. The underside is still a little dirty.
You can kind of see. You can kind of see on the bottom. There's a bunch of stuff there. It's all game stuff for the most part. There's like 1 or 2 things that aren't. But
gaming will be probably about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I think we're going to start at 1 p.m.
We're a little behind in enjoying the chat, so I figured we push everything off.
Exactly.
By an hour.
Yep. I think that'll be the plan 1-to-1.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, no, that went pretty well. We learned a couple things too about like the complications of mic audio in a big room.
Yes. Well, a big room with not 300 people.
Yeah, if it was a full room, I think the echo would have been less severe, would have been easier to tell. I get why they don't do this. It'd be cool if they had little earpieces,
in-ear monitors,
because that'd be nice. Because then it would not be nearly. Because then also they could say something to us and we'd be able to hear it invisibly.
There were for the people who were there, I'm sure they noticed once or twice, but there were some moments while we were on stage where Rick would say something with, Rick and I were running the handhelds and standing up behind everybody, and Rick would say something to the crowd and then look at me and like point, and all I got was like,
yeah.
And then Rick would point, and just because of the slap back and the echo and everything, and a couple of times I just guessed.
Yeah, same.
I was just like, I would just be like, "Thanks, Rick," and then just go on with some other thought, or I'd be like, "You got it, bud," and then point at Rick to be like, "I don't know what you want me to do.
It was like,
you keep going."
Sweet. Anyway.
Yeah. Literally just trying to like read each other's minds on stage. It was a bit of a mess.
It was not to mention it was weird too, because like the audience seemed to be able to hear us well enough that they were hearing it more than we were hearing it, each other.
Oh yeah,
in terms of clarity.
The PA speakers were in front of us by about 5 feet.
Yeah.
So
like they got nice crystal clear
it sounded
audio
great
of
in the
us.
Room.
Yeah. So that was like, it was an interesting experience. We have a better idea of like, okay, we'll want to like more tightly script out a couple of like the intros just so that we don't have to guess what the other person's saying if we go off book a little bit. And yeah, I mean, it went pretty solidly. People had a good time.
Yep.
And yeah, hopefully, and it sounds like the enforcers liked us too, which is like secretly that's maybe the most important part, because if we want to go back, the people, the audience liking us is like good and important. The enforcers liking us is like critical.
Yes. The one thing I forgot to do was mention to the room and to our friends, especially in the room, that there's a survey on the PAX app that you do about panels, and it probably would have been good to make people
just kind of nudge people like, hey, give us a thumbs up on Yelp.
If that didn't suck, then just give us a note that said good job.
Yeah.
But again, all the enforcers loved us because we were in and out on time,
and clean,
didn't fuck with any of their stuff, cleaned up on the way out.
The biggest mess was made, I think, was you were just kind of like, and this card's done, but like it's paper on the floor, you just go and you're done.
I just threw paper on the floor.
But that takes literal seconds. You're not like going, oh shit, it's time for the surprise confetti cannon. Poof. None of that shit.
Everybody take out your bottles of Jack Daniels.
Yep. Yeah.
It's time for the chug round.
Yep. Whoever comes in last has to turn theirs into a Molotov and throw it.
Yep. All right.
Yeah.
So
I think that's about it.
I have a great story to dismount if you want to like begin setting things up for the official start of the stream, so you can then sit down.
Yeah, I think we are actually like ready. Yeah, game is good there. I'm probably just gonna throw it to the one of these. I have 3 separate
interstitials.
hold screens, which are kind of cute.
Okay,
so that'll be fun. But yeah, I think we're basically set. The TV's not on. That's the only thing.
Yeah,
that'll take moments, but yeah, if you want to tell the story, then we'll do that, and then we'll quickly switch over. We'll take like literally a 1-minute pause to do that, and then we'll just be in.
Okay. All right. Well, so I have a very funny story.
Also, hi Denari, I see you. Sorry.
Yes, hello. There's lots
Thank
of
you.
people in chat. I love you all. So we're going to do this panel, right? And we're tweaking and trying to get it all like the way we want it up until the very last minutes. And I've got my computer in the room at PAX, and Rick's at home printing stuff, and XYZ. Everyone's running around. So shortly before the panel's going up, I've like shut my computer down, and I'm like, all right, I got to pack up and I got to get my shit ready to go over. So I took my backpack, and I was like, I'm taking everything out of my backpack just so if they ever look in it, I'll be like, this backpack contains 8 whiteboards and some computer cables. Let's go. So I inverted my backpack into my suitcase, literally just dumping stuff out, being like coins, lighter, some ibuprofen, whatever, everything coming out of my backpack into
the rest
my
of the
suitcase.
Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Let's Play. It's all just in there.
All dumped in.
Yep.
And then I kind of pack up my backpack real quick, and I'm like, all right, I got to shower real fast. So I ran to the bathroom and I showered, and I'm out of the shower and I'm in the room, and I reach into my suitcase, and I'm just like, that I've dumped my stuff onto. So I just kind of like grab some clothing that's on the top, under things, put them on, my D-pad shirt on, get everything squared away, and get over to the panel as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
So I'm still a little damp, hair's wet, like really rushing here. But we get there on time. The panel goes well. While we're on stage, about like halfway through, I start to feel a little bit of uncomfortableness.
Oh, that's right.
In a special Jeffrey area.
I could swear that I remembered where this is going. Continue.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught on at least that much.
Yeah.
I was like, he's got to remember this. So I felt some uncomfortableness in a special area south of the border. And
the weenus.
It's the, yes.
Right in the elbow.
Right in the elbow. That's above the border. But we're in the show, so I can't really like stop. I can't, adjust myself in front of 40-something people.
Rule number 1 on the enforcer list is do not touch your penis on stage.
Don't play with your business. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Ignore it for now. We're fine. We're getting the sweats going on. We're like, things are intense. But I kind of don't think about it. We get through the panel on adrenaline and force of will, and we finish it. High fives, everyone, great job. Thanks, enforcers. And at this point, I'm like beat to shit.
Yeah.
So I grab my stuff, and I'm like stressed, sweaty, and everything. And I go back to the room that I have at the Westin and like unload my computer. Evil Hippie helped carry like a bunch of stuff. Unload it, high five, see you later. And I'm like, all right, I gotta change. So I take off all of my sweaty clothing, and chat, everyone, I shit you not, I removed my boxer briefs and went to put a fresh pair on, and yes, radar, yeah. Pretty accurate here. And from betwixt my leg and my business bag falls a dime to the ground. So when I had dumped my backpack into my suitcase, there was a lot of loose change in there. And some of that loose change found its way into my underclothes. So I did the entire PAX panel with a dime stuck to my business. And
you performed at PAX with while holding a dime bag.
Yeah, with a literal dime bag going on. So I now have that dime in my wallet. And before anybody asks the question, because this is the first one everybody asked me when I told the story in person.
Yep.
Yes, I washed the dime. I washed the dime very carefully immediately.
Honestly, so that was not the first thing that I thought when I heard about this, but also it's like that dime is way filthier than anything that's going to be on your balls.
Yes. Oh, it was probably.
It's probably cleaner after being pressed firmly against your nuts.
I wish that I had cleaned it ahead of time had I known it was going to be piggy sacking rather.
Kamen Rider Ghost with the line of the responses. It's called your coin purse for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep. I thought it was a penny when it first happened because I was so out of my mind, and then I left.
Why is this penny all gray?
I left it on the desk, and then woke up the next day and looked at it and was like, "Oh boy,
this is like 10 pennies."
Yeah, that's not a penny.
Yep. I'm having a little 10-penny opera in my boxer briefs.
Yeah,
there you go.
So I've got that dime in my wallet now. It's my new lucky dime.
Nice.
And I don't know. I make like a necklace or like something out of it, like drill a hole in it.
Yeah.
And tie something to it. But
oh my
yeah.
God.
So after all of that stress and effort and anxiety, I got back to my room and I could not help but laugh.
Oh, did you say it first? Nobody. Oh my God, you did. I'm so sorry. I was in the midst of all the of the Jeff emotes. I hereby reclaim the glory given to Kamen Rider Ghost and give 80% of it to nobody. Basically.
I'm down for shared glory in this case.
That's why it's 80. It's not the full 100, even though nobody did say it first. But I'm giving the lion's share of the joke glory back over to nobody.
The story deserves many jokes.
It does.
That we probably should have.
There were a lot of
more.
Good between the dime bag and the coin purse and all of these things. Yeah, there are many good punny things to.
A lot of people. One of the first people I told the story to said, "Penny for your thoughts." When I thought it was a penny, and then I realized I was just out of my mind, and it was a dime. So there's lots of jokes.
No, you were just so sweaty that you sweated away most of the mass. All of the coloring of it was pulled away, and it serrated the edges slightly.
I mean, that would have been very
ridged
impressive.
the edges.
Yeah. So, sorry, and also you're welcome for telling you a story about my Testa Satchel at the very beginning of the stream. So
nice. Well, now we're demonetized as soon as this goes on YouTube, so perfect. That's exactly right. All right, cool. With that, I'm gonna throw this to our hold screen. We'll just be like 1 minute. We just gotta literally turn the TV on, and then I think we're just gonna jump right in. And we'll get this thing started. We'll be running from, it's now 1:01, but we'll be running until 1 p.m. tomorrow. We're starting with Super Mario 64. We're at least going to beat that before switching.
Yep.
Depending how fast we go, we may just go all out and do 100% stuff now, but we're going to feel it out. Once we have beaten or completed Mario 64, we'll be switching to Banjo-Kazooie, which once we beat that, we may be jumping back to Mario 64 to do 100%. We're gonna play it by ear. Bare minimum, we're beating both games.
Yes.
Stretch goals is 100%.
Bare minimum.
Hey,
Goji didn't like that joke.
The bare minimum would be Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. That's the bare minimum.
Boo.
Yeah, there it is.
Boo.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay, Shizzle. We're about to go away, but we'll be back.
Moments.